Hello and welcome to Grants Pass Gateway Rotary. For starters, I'm going to have Brenda come up. She is the pledge and four-way test.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, and liberty and justice for all. Of the things we say, do, first, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, is it beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. And our inspiration, Patrice, do you want to come on up?
Thank you. I was going to read a poem and then this popped into my email yesterday from a group of horticultural therapists that I'm involved with in California. And I just felt like it was a better one. So these days, the weight of the world can feel unrelenting. It's easy to feel small, adrift, or overwhelmed. And yet in the quiet moments between the noise, there's a place to pause. A space to notice our own light and the subtle wisdom around us. Lately, I've been thinking about what it means to be a light keeper in the quiet lessons of nature. It feels like a gentle reminder that even when the world feels heavy, we can tend the lantern of our own hearts. The word sanctum has been resonating deeply with me lately, more than circle. We do a circle thing. For me, it evokes a softer, steadier energy, spaces of refuge, reflection, and care. In these sanctums, whether found within ourselves or shared with others, our inner flame can be nurtured and protected. Here we can reflect, listen, and learn from the more than human world, the trees, rivers, mountains, and winds that quietly show us how to endure, how to open, and how to shine. Music has a way of holding us in these sacred spaces. Take time this fall to sit among the trees and hear the music of their branches. To be a light keeper is not about a grand gesture or trying to fix the world. It's about showing up with presence, tending your own light, and allowing it to ripple outward. Even small sparks matter. A smile to a stranger, a word of gratitude, a quiet gesture of kindness. Even gentle warmth can guide another who feels lost. It is the simple acts of tending our light, pausing, listening, caring, and reflecting. We are reminded that amidst uncertainty, we are never truly alone. Our steady, patient flame matters more than we often realize, quietly illuminating the world around us. With quiet reverence, Kathleen.
Very touching. A very good time to have that we all need to listen to. Okay, I see a few unfamiliar faces out here. So our greeter, Pat, do you want to bring up the people who are visiting? First of all, visiting Rotarians. I think we have some visiting Rotarians. Right here. Okay, you just hand me there. Here we go. Visiting Rotarians. We have here is we can do something, but we look anyway. Rebecca. Okay, Rebecca Z. Zolkeski.
Funny story. My last name is Solkoski. It rhymes with cold coffee. So hello, I'm a newbie Rotarian at the Wednesday group, and thank you for having me as a guest. Well, I look forward to coming more than once. I'm certain of that already. Thank you.
so much for joining us. And then we also have some non-Rotarians. I gotta make sure that we've got Suzanne. Yes, I'll let my guests. Close to Rotarian, yes.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello. I'm sorry if my accent is not very good because I'm an exchange student from France. I'm Sudan Muller. And I'm in the north of France, in Lille. And yeah, and nice to meet you. And thank you.
Yeah, so we hope you'll join us again as the year progresses, because you are here for a year, am I correct?
Yeah.
You're here for a year and you're going to Grants Pass High School?
Yeah.
Okay, so I hope that we see more of you as the year goes on. That's great. And then we have,
Getting out of school, so she'll be here.
well, you need to see the whole world. You know how that goes. Okay, then we have another guest. Here, Brenda, you want to introduce the guest?
I'm delighted to introduce and reintroduce Bobby Hitter. She used to be a member about 12 years ago.
Welcome, Bobby. Okay, great. Anybody that I missed? I think those are the familiar faces that I saw out in the group. All right, well, welcome the rest of you. We're going to start off with our announcements. I have an exciting announcements that I don't know, most of you probably didn't listen to the city council meeting last night, but I did because I knew that they were awarded the grants for the tourism. So they give tourism promotion grants to different organizations. They have a cycle that goes through twice a year. One in the fall and one in the spring, and they give up to $5,000 to promote events outside of the 50-mile radius. And we decided this year, after conversation, that we were going to try to go for it and see if we could maybe expand a little bit our Porch Fest and advertise, say, Eugene, further down in California, just to bring in a bigger crowd. And so I listened to the meeting last night, and I will say they had nothing but wonderful things to say about Porch Fest. And I asked for $3,500 was my request for $3,500 to promote outside. And they gave us 5,000. And the reason they gave us 5,000 was an important piece that I'm looking forward to going along on this journey of figuring out how do we measure where people have come from? Because that is the purpose of this grant, is to try to bring in people from farther than 50 miles. So somehow or other, I'm going to work with our guests today. Visit Grants Pass, because they're going to be working along with us to try to find measurement tools. And that's an important part of this piece. So I am very excited that we did get the grant, $5,000, that will help promote our Porch Fest and hopefully make it grow and help bring in more money for the nonprofits that we support. So that's awesome. So we also have, I think Patrice was going to give us a little update on our food collection. And I see some back there.
I told Valerie I was just gonna give a grand total right now for what the whole program, the Green Bag Program, has collected as of today, which is almost 7,000 pounds of food. Yeah, so it's very exciting, and I decided not to pull out numbers for competition right now, but just to say we're up by about 25% of where we were last year. So thank you to this club. Okay, the social is on September 25th. And it's at 5 o'clock. There's food trucks and menu of food to order from inside, and it looks like Aaron Reed is scheduled for the band. I have a sign-up sheet and I'll send it around. Some of you guys are already on there.
Okay, great. And that is a Thursday night. So just so that you know, it is a Thursday night. All right.
If anybody wants to go to Grants Pass Downs for horse racing, I have tons of free passes, so just let me know how many you want. Thanks.
Awesome. Support those activities.
And as you know, we're working towards a mentorship program in conjunction with the Chamber of Commerce, RCC, and the Hive and Trevor. and that leadership class. So we just had a recent meeting and it looks like we're gonna schedule our first sort of speed dating event where we're trying to match mentors with mentees in mid-January. So sort of be prepared for that. Once we get that locked down, we'll let you know what the date is. And then we're also going to be creating some type of a survey for us mentors to kind of give out a little background information of both who we are and what we might be interested in as mentors. So stay tuned.
Thank you very much. All right, so now without further ado, it's committee work I did send out, and Bev, I gave you the updated version from what I took all those big pieces of paper. I consolidated it and I gave you a copy. And I sent an email to all those people who came up on as a team lead to kind of I'm gonna pass it off to you to contact the people who are on your committee to set up a time and move forward. And I especially want to move forward with the engagement and the fellowship. So we get on course for the red badge, blue badge. That we always do, getting more people involved and getting them to move up to become a blue badge. So that, look in your email for that. And without further ado, I am honored to invite our guest today, Griffyn Storm. He works for Visit Grants Pass, which is our local DMO, which means Destination Marketing Organization, which he'll explain a little bit more. He is the marketing director. I was lucky enough as a counselor to go along on the journey from when the city operated and then John Bowen operated the travel and to where we built a board and we made an independent DMO. And so it's a great opportunity and it has, I think, done wonders and it has made it so much better to have an organization not necessarily attached to the city do our promotion. So I'll let him tell you a little bit about Visit Grants Pass and what they do.
Has anyone heard of Visit Grants Pass? Anyone familiar at all? So basically what we do is we bring in visitation from outside of 50-mile radius. Can you get closer to the mic? Oh, that's a good point. Okay, so Visit Grants Pass, we bring people in from outside of a 50-mile radius. We bring in visitors. Probably be better if I just go with the slides. So yeah, my name's Griffyn Storm. I do marketing. Come over here. Let's see if this works. I'll just give you the cue. If I can do like. Yeah, let me see if I can go with this. Always the same, DMO. It's always part of the presentation. That's the technical difficulties that's not planned.
That's what we're used to. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, these are just guidelines. I don't really. So what is tourism? It's travel, recreation, it's leisure, it's people coming to visit from out of the area. We can move to the next one. So we're funded by the Transient Lodging Tax. It's a roughly 12% tax that visitors pay when they stay in a hotel in Griffyn County. And so that's what we're funded by. So it gets split up. We don't get the full thing. The city gets some, we get some. I have an actual split on the 12% that we get, and then yeah, you can skip this one. Let's just you can delete that one. Yeah, you want to go? Yeah, next one. So that's the tourism budget. We don't get all of that. It's split up with the city now. It can be allocated in different ways. There's different things that qualify as tourism. Our budget goes strictly towards marketing. Our goal is to bring people into the area. You can skip this one. I don't know if it's gonna work now. So yeah, this helps. We're that 40%. This is how it breaks up. So all of that tax paid when people book a room, 12%, it goes towards tourism, and then 51% is actual. That's the breakdown. So tourism related facilities. And then the tourism promotion, we're the tourism promotion. So ultimately we get 40% to market the area to bring in more guests from guests pretty much. So we're funded by visitors to bring in more visitors. So that breaks it down a little bit more. We work with the city and we work with the chamber, but we're separate. We're a nonprofit, where we can do things on our own timeline. It's all different. We don't have all the things that the city has to go through, so we're quick. We can market stuff. We market local businesses, local events. We just promote the area to visitors. So this is a big thing about tourism that I think a lot of people don't know, but yeah, there's 2,060 jobs in Josephine County related to tourism as of 2024. It is the second biggest economic driver in the county after healthcare. So it is big. I mean, a lot of people coming to these restaurants and shops, they're from out of town and they're spending a lot of money when they visit here. So this is the average spend that a visitor in 2024, this number's gone up with inflation and everything, of course. But $172 a night, $172 a night is the rough spend that somebody will spend in per day. And the average length of stay is 2.7 days. So
Okay, John.
So this is an estimate of how much money was spent just from visitors in Josephine County. It's $172 million. That includes shopping, dining, recreation, everything in Josephine County. So it brings in a lot. And this is just within, so this is an interesting number. We had to get a new data source for this. Private rentals alone brought in $7.6 million of spending in Grants Pass. So what that number means is Airbnbs, Vrbo, all that, they brought in that much spending just in the areas. So that's a big one. Because they don't report to us.
So no hotel, not talking about hotels or.
The hotels is the 172. This is private data that we have to pay to access separately, because that is a big number that's just hiding back there pretty much. But it is valid because, you know, they don't report TLT. We don't get TLT off Airbnb. So
Is there any effort to do that?
there is, yeah. I mean, the goal is to make everyone report to TLT. Technically, everyone is supposed to, but not everyone has to. So it's tough. Not everyone has to report their dollars. So we don't get all the data from every hotel and every Airbnb because it is to their discretion to report it. I mean, they're supposed to, but we're not in the power to force me. That would be state or citywide at that point. But I think it's crazy. It's a very small percentage of the hotels and places actually report it. 50% occupancy rate. So a big thing that a lot of people might think is that numbers are down, and they have been. 2020 was actually a huge spike for Grants Pass in Josephine County. Road trippers were at an all-time high there. Like those were record numbers. They just blew everything else out of the water. So it's kind of calmed down since then. People are traveling more internationally by plane. An occupancy rate of 50%, which is we want to get the numbers up. The numbers are kind of like this, and the goal is that they've evened out now since COVID, so we're hoping for an upward trend now. But it's kind of just the trend we've seen for all of Oregon, is it has kind of tapered down. So this, the city can spend the other money that we don't get for tourism promotion. The money brought in by visitors can go towards police officers, public spaces, like all this development. The new playground that was put in last year, that was $400,000 that was brought in by visitors spending money. That these are all the resources. So it funds our community with this visitor money. It makes it a stronger community. It's an economic driver. It develops Grants Pass. So it's huge. Yeah, big thing we do is we do market during the shoulder season. It gets super quiet here in fall, winter. So we try, right now we're doing a huge push for boutique shopping, antique shopping, and restaurants. The compliment we get talking to other DMOs and stuff, other people that do what we do for different cities like Ashland, Medford, they're jealous of our dining scene. We have a really good dining scene here. We got great food. So we market that. We also have great shopping as well. And an antique scene. So there's a market for all of that. So that's what we're kind of highlighting. separately, I don't know if anyone's seen, but if you want to check out our website, we did a Savor Grants Pass series where we did like storytelling of the business owners, what made them want to start a business in Grants Pass, what is their story, why do they want to make food that's high quality and handmade and everything. So we did the hall, partake, weekend beer, House of Glory. We got a couple others, but it's definitely worth checking out, seeing kind of stories of business owners. So that's what we're all about, is the storytelling for our marketing. We're trying to have a unique approach. Website statistics, we can kind of go through these pretty fast. Our main point is visual marketing. As Valerie said, we need to be able to track that our spending is converting. So we use multiple things. We use different softwares to see. We can see when people get our ad in a different area and then actually come and visit here and stay here overnight. So that's how we track that. Okay, somebody saw our ad, maybe they saw it a couple times, and then they actually made the trip to Grants Pass, which is huge. Lots of reaches impressions. You're just, as people seeing our ads, that can be displayed. Little like gift ads and stuff when you're, when you're scrolling to our website, and there's that little picture on the side or the banner on top. We do that. We also have the top search paid placement. We do social too, and really good interaction rate. That's people just commenting, like 95,000 interactions on just social media and everything. Facebook alone, we have 50,000 followers, which is really big for DMOs. Like, that's pretty competitive with even Medford, which is crazy. Kate Battles, I don't know if anyone's familiar with her. She's great. She does our social media and she's stellar. And so we have a really awesome team behind it. So this is the software we use. It's Datafy. You can geofence. I can target different things. I think the best example to explain what Datafy is like, say that we promoted a restaurant during summer and we were promoting it outside of 50 miles. I can geofence and make like a tag on that restaurant and then track how many people came in from this campaign to that restaurant from out of town. So that's what it does. It kind of targets, it uses, credit cards. It's sort of to some people, but like it's all data, and that's where the money is now. So the data is in credit card transactions and phones, it pings it and everything. So we can see where they got the ad and then where they spent their money, what hotel they stayed at, all of that. So we can see the whole visitor experience. We'll skip that. That's estimated. These are all statistics from just our Datafy campaign. So this is one platform that we did a campaign that brought in roughly 10,000 nights. That's like 10,000 trips. So that's 10,000 rooms booked. Party sizes can differ for that. So that's big. And that's for one campaign that we ran. That's just for that individual. Visitor spending. Oh, I guess we can go back to the last one. These numbers have gone up. The average room rate is not 120 anymore. It's up there now. It's like 130, 140. And then average daily spending per visitor, that number has actually gone up huge. That is 200 going 300. I mean, it's a lot bigger than, and that was last year. I mean, people are spending more money. If you think about, I don't know, when I go get lunch, it could be $40 pretty fast. And if I had kids and someone else, that it's going to add up fast. So there's a lot of spending. It goes quick. So once we get a visitor here from our advertising, they're spending a lot of money. So it's the pro of it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is cool. This is just like our year over year. So you can kind of see our numbers. 3.5, like this is a conglomerate of all of our campaigns. So we're not isolating just Datafy. You can see 50,000 interactions over the last fiscal year was 34,000 roughly. We're getting a lot of engagement. The engagement rate is good. I did a year over year graph here where you can kind of see it. We're down in July because we just rebooted our whole marketing strategy. We had an agency we were working with out of Bend, but we decided just to bring it all in-house to Grants Pass. We want to keep all the money circulating here, practice what we preach, so we're not outsourcing anything else. It was just original when the organization was started by one person. I don't know if anyone knows Tori, she's great, but she was a one-person team, so she had an agency work with her. So it's all in-house now. We do everything in tech, so. This kind of breaks it up. The main takeaway I would get from this is that organic is number one. That means organically, without us even paying, just our presence online is doing even better than the paid. So like we have built up a reputation, and there's things with like Art Along the Road, Porch Fest, 4th of July. We create the landing pages for the city for these events, and they will get insane click-through rates. Like averages are 3 to 5. These will get like 17 to 45%. Like everyone is going to our website to get the information for local events and everything, and that we host all that information. I work with business owners directly. Just if they have an event, I put it on our website and we'll promote it and share it. This just shows the top keywords, and I think the main takeaways, those are the high click-through rates, like Art Along the Road, 50%. So that means if they're looking up Art Along the Road, they see Visit Grants Pass show up, they're clicking on it half the time, which is high. I mean, you can see for Grants Pass, a little more generic, that's like 0.5. So it's a huge difference for click-through rate. But the positions are huge. We work alongside the chamber, but we compete to get those spots high ranking as we can. Things to do, Grants Pass, Oregon. We're up there for that. This is Facebook alone numbers. Already touched on the big one, 50,000 followers, which is big. Those are people engaged, following the page. We post events. If a business wants to post an event and have us promote it, we can create the event listing on Facebook ourselves, and then we already have that reach without even putting marketing dollars behind it. So it's a pretty big resource. YouTube, we just got into, since we're doing this video series of Savor Grants Pass. We have the moments of Zen we did last year, but we're kind of kicking it into top notch. As you can see, it was kind of stagnant, and then boom, it's skyrocketing. So it's taken off. That's been a recent focus. Well, we've seen really good conversions from YouTube. People like video content, I guess, short video content. So, and this is separate. So this is kind of what I do. I'm not much of the public speaker. I'm more of the designer tech guy. So we do ad placements and stuff. Like we get it out there. This was in Northwest Food and Travel magazine. They did a full editorial on us and everything. We have earned PR, and then we do have paid placements where we pay to get pages. Like we got the back cover of this magazine that was really cool, the Oregon Wine and Food. That's a picture from Partake. We do business spotlights and get that content no cost to them. Couple more examples. The quality's bad. These are screenshots, but it's good quality on a real thing. You could go back to that last one real quick. This is cool. This is a huge poster at Brookings to bring people from the coast to here. So we do have stuff like that, and we have materials in every welcome center in Oregon, Northern California, Southern Washington. Our biggest markets, the majority of people that come here are coming from San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, Eugene, and they're driving here. So it's those they fly in and then they drive from either direction. This is just some fun stuff I did. We are, I came up with these designs. We're trying to go for more of like a modern aspect, but we just started rolling out merch. We want people to feel included in the community and for visitors to be able to buy stuff. So now we have merch. We just started rolling this out. It's super experimental. We don't even have an official place to sell it yet. Right now it's at the Lonely Pine coffee shop, but we're trying to get out there. We're trying new things to get involved. As soon as people start walking around with wearing those shirts, that helps us market the area, especially if they're walking in another town wearing a Grants Pass shirt.
Where's that visit in the middle is Grants Pass?
So these are local oriented, these first ones, you're right, that is a good point. There was a thought process behind it where we're not trying to sell Visit Grants Pass, we're trying to get locals to. The main goal is these are limited run, like the Visit Grants Pass, yeah, that one can go a little wider. This one is for like families in the area, wear a shirt that reflects your hometown and stuff. It's a small limited run. And we're fine tuning it. It will have like the little like hashtag Visit Grants Pass or like the logo and stuff too. this was just my test run of the first ones, and it's more of a community thing. We're not marketing that to visitors. It's just for just. So,
So you're gonna put this on t-shirts or something that we can go and buy some?
yes, we have some at the Lonely Pine right now for the first initial test with.
Where, what is the Lonely Pine Medicine?
And if anyone's familiar with the Hive, it's at the back there. Our office, we actually moved to the Hive. We're located out of there. It's right across from Partake. That's where we're based out of now. So we're in that little co-working space, and then the Lonely Pine has the merch in the back.
Yep.
How you can track people who
Oh.
stay in motel. But how do you know? How do you know that it's a tourist spending money in a restaurant or in a gift store?
Yeah. So here's the good parts, questions. So I'll try my best. So how we do that is that is software like data fine stuff. They see the ad, we have to see that they see the ad from outside of the 50-mile radius. So that's why we pay for these softwares and stuff to see that they got the ad and then they spent it in town. So we can see, for example, all along the road, I can break down the numbers of visitors versus locals. And it's like a big local thing, like 88% of all the spending in art along the road is locals, and I can see that. But then I can see 12% was visitors from outside the 50-mile radius. It's just,
You ask people,
Zip codes from
Are you
credit cards?
Is it codes from the credit card, or what is it that shows that they're coming from outside the region?
so it's different softwares that can conglomerate data. So I can go in there and I see by city, how many people came from what zip code. I can break it down by zip code or city to see who came in. It's, well, that's where I get technical and stuff. I mean, that's where my boss tells me.
okay, I go to our road and. I go to Porch Fest. And I live in somewhere else. And I pay cash and I buy a t-shirt. How do you know that I'm visiting?
Okay, that's a good point, and I get that sometimes. We would ping the cell phone technically from like you can check into the hotel booking.
Okay, you gotta use technology.
It's, well, yeah, so if somebody,
Okay.
if someone doesn't have an iPhone, doesn't have a smartphone, and they're paying just cash, and they're totally off grid, there's nothing I can do
That's
about it.
what.
Yeah, I
Nobody-
can't
nobody-
report, if you're
brother's
totally
not
off
paying
grid,
me.
then I can't do anything. Because that is the hard part, you can't, I mean, at that point, all you can really do is get like a head count for like tickets sold for an event, like that's kind of what you can do when. If somebody's totally off grid, they have no smartphone, paying only cash, it's pretty much all we can do is. Well, but you would, your example would have been our reporting, like we can't capture that person. Technically, so.
So my question is, as of, the former tourism, committee for the city, chair for years, and we started the Art Along the Road. How many staff do you have now that work in city tourism? And was that part of the money that comes to you from the city?
Okay, so the city gets separate funding and split up, they get some of those tourism dollars too. So as of right now, Art Along the Road is a city event that we help promote and organize. We've been heavily involved this is my third year. Yeah, Vision Grants Pass specifically, we've helped with the marketing, we do in-kind work. So like for this year, we were doing all the marketing outside of the area for it. Me and my boss, Visit Grants Pass specifically. We are doing in-kind work, because right now it is a city event. They're in charge of vendors, artists, organizing, that's all done. Dana Pierce, she's doing a great job, that's her job right now. It might be something next year that we're gonna see, Visit Grants Pass will be in charge of. Awesome.
So I was just saying, you are the marketing director, Dan Buck is the head or the CEO, is it, am I correct? At the Visit Grants Pass, it was Tori Middlestat, and Tori Middlestat went up to the Willamette Valley, and so the board brought on Dan Buck.
Yeah, I'm the computer guy, he's the talking guy, he's everywhere, all over town, you'll see him. always wearing like 5 layers, so.
So that's kind of, and so then he took on, well, and Griffin worked with Tori as well. And I don't know if you have someone else, but I know Dana Pierce is the person right now who's in charge of Arlo, the road from the city. So, but once again, that is a city event, but they're utilizing the GMO to promote outside. But the city is running it from the inside, which is why they asked for volunteers to go down and help with the streets and that sort of thing, because they need volunteers to make it happen.
Yes, and we always volunteer. We're a 2-person team. Kate is a contracted worker under the team.
Very interesting. So I have 2 questions. First of all, are you operating your own servers or are you leasing out server time? And then second of all, how aggressive are you under geofencing?
So we just use Dropbox for all of our backup. We have everything on actual physical hard drives and stuff, but we have it on iCloud too. We just use the Wi-Fi, the Hive right now, but we don't have any like private server space now. Yeah, for geofencing, it depends on what we're targeting. I mean, so what we have started doing is like the base play where we will market for businesses. We'll use their money to market in the area.
Okay, because like, I understand geofencing enough to have trouble.
Geofencing.
Okay, let's say, you know me, and you know Greg, right? Let's say, for example, I want to steal his customers. Okay, for my business. Okay, I'm gonna target demographics, and I'm gonna target in this area, around his business, geography around his business. And then ads are gonna show up on their phones, they're gonna promote my business.
So when we get separate funding from the business directly locally, we're a nonprofit, we don't take any money, we just run their marketing for them, we can do that. So we can be like, oh, this brewery wants to have the ads around this area of town, we can geofence that. But in a general sense, our marketing all has to be outside of the 50-mile radius. So we're targeting by larger DMAs, so like full cities and areas.
Yeah, so you are aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they kind of have to be.
Well, it depends, like we consult too. I mean, we brainstorm for every campaign, so we design it.
Well, like for example, in Gold Beach, he could be promoting Hillgate on the road. 2 people specifically going to Jerry's just as an idea.
Yeah, you can.
Well, and we know how crazy the world has gotten, and it's just so different, and I think that's what fascinated me the most about as a counselor and getting involved in it, is just to see how different marketing is now than it used to be, because it used to be that you just had those hands-on magazines that you look, which they still have. You still do magazines, am I correct? You put them in the.
Yeah, they're at the visitor center. You'll see our visitor guide every visitor center, or we're getting all the big ones at least.
Yeah.
Those are old. No, we still do the print copy. I still see value in it, having an actual physical visitor guide that people.
Yeah, and they are beautiful, and they also advertise a lot in the Southern Oregon magazine, but there are specific magazines. I've seen us in AAA magazine also runs ads, as it does. You can see many DMOs do, but it's just such a different thing. And I think it was the measurement of it that to me was kind of fascinating, that yes, they can figure out by clicks. And yes, they can click on my phone. I love their Visit Grants Pass ads. I mean, if you ever go to visit.com, and they're just amazing. The quality that they do promoting our city is really amazing. And I think they've built a reputation for that among other DMOs.
Yeah, and to your point, you're right, we can target other businesses, but we try to stay neutral players, so we're not just. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. We try to stay pretty neutral with that, because we're playing on everyone's side of the community, so we have to stay pretty neutral where we are. Outside, yeah, we want to get people from Medford to come here.
Yeah, if you go after people at the Peach Blossom in order to go vote there.
Yeah.
So Griffin, you talked about having an event calendar sort of thing on Visit Grants Pass, is that correct? Did I understand you when you said that?
Yes, we do have an event calendar. The database is shared with Travel Oregon, so when people make listing there, it's on the Travel Oregon database for their website too.
Okay, so 2 questions. Do you grab that information from like Porch Fest that we do, or any other event in town? Do you grab that automatically, or does that entity need to send their event information to you to make that happen?
So I do my best to grab every event I can
Okay.
at my capacity, but there is a submission thing on the event calendar. First thing there is submit your event right here, and then they'll email me. It makes it easier. So we're a 2-person team, so.
So there's a lot of people that are involved in other entities that do events, so FYI, send them your information.
Yeah, event calendar, submit your event, we'll market it for you, we'll post it on there, share it, so.
Okay, and then the second question is, when we travel, Bev and I, one of the things we try to do is say where we're gonna pass through, and say what events are going on that weekend, is it a good weekend to pass through that town or whatnot? Is that something you try to market when you have that event calendar, or when you find those things to be able to send that to somebody who's passing through San Francisco?
Yeah, for sure. We market different events, especially like, I mean, if we think it's visitor facing, so like Boatnik is a huge one. We don't even really have to help with that because it itself. But yeah, we market Art Along the Road, 4th of July, even smaller events and stuff. And we market workshops locally for resources for business owners, if that answers your question.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I'm thinking about like, the growers market, like it's lovely to land in a town somewhere and go see their growers market. Or their artist markets or things like that. And it's nice to be able, it's sometimes it's very hard to find that on a calendar of a small town sometimes.
so the nice thing is we have it designed so you can see the event calendar and there's different views. You can see all of this week's events kind of in a funnel, and then you can preview, switch it over to the calendar view and see by month, an overview, or you can see what's coming up today, this week, the different views. And then we'll do posts and promote them to kind of like conglomerate, like, oh, go to the growers market, do this, get brunch at Mimosas. We do itinerary building. We bring in fan tours with influencers and guests, and so we integrate that, like stuff like growers market and stuff into travel.
And just to explain what fan tours, oh, there's a hand up there, James, okay, I'll just say, quick question while we get James. You talk about fan tours, what are you talking about?
Familiarization groups.
Say that again.
Familiarization groups. So these are just people, they could be from Travel Oregon, they could be from different countries. These are travel enthusiasts, influencers. You bring them in.
Okay, and so you bring them and basically just kind of treat them in per se, or give them that opportunity to take in?
Yeah, we build like a whole itinerary.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
Question.
No,
There was another technical difficulty. We have those a lot around here. We're not quite as techy as the younger generation, shall we say. We have a lot to learn. But guys, that to me has been the joy to just realize that, the days of the newspapers, unfortunately, we all still, I love my newspaper. I love reading the newspaper and I love going through those pretty fancy ads, but there's a lot of people that don't. And there's a lot of kids that, kids travel differently. My kids travel much different than I ever traveled. And so really, as we go through time, we have to look for those and how to bring those people in.
Yeah, public speaking, there will always be technical difficulties, it's guaranteed. It's part of that.
So I read in the newspaper, so it must be true. And I think I saw it on the internet too, but so the city of Grants Pass just contracted with Main Street organization to do things like, back to the 50s and stuff. How is that going to integrate into your business plan?
So we kind of,
You're okay.
oh,
It's for somebody else.
gotcha. So Main Street, we helped organize that. Tori had brought in someone to contract and kind of scope that out. He actually lived here to help establish it. We kicked it off here like a year and a half ago in this room. We had 70 people turn out. Yeah, you were there. It was great. We had our first people step up and establish the board for Main Street. Main Street is huge. Right now, we're hoping that city council approves funding for them.
They did. They did
Well-
approve money, 100,000. They did 100,000 for 1 year. Yeah, but they did approve it. I'm just saying, I was at the workshop on Monday.
Oh, you
I
put
was
that
at the
in.
workshop. I went to the workshop to hear about Main Street because I'm in support of Main Street, and they were leery, but they designated $1,000 for the first year to see how it goes. 100,000, yeah, 100,000.
I thought it still has to go through one more level after.
I don't think so. I think council approved it, it goes.
Well, that would be great. That can really change things, because right now Main Street is all volunteer work. It's people putting in their time, and they've been doing it for over a year. So, these are real estate agents, local business owners putting in their free time. The main goal of Main Street is, we can market outside that 50-mile radius, but if Main Street can be exclusively available for merchants in town to give them resources, to find them grant funding, to advertise for them directly, to network, to get them in touch with the other business owners, to help them want to create more events. Main Street is huge. Yeah, so it started, and if they do, if they have funding, that's gonna be huge, because then we can get a full-time Main Street director. And that's a really good resource for this community.
Yeah, because we have downtown merchants that are trying to run businesses and they don't have the time to do that. So I will say, and I follow that we do have Seth coming in to talk about Main Street this next month.
Yes, you gotta make it today, but.
Yeah, so he will be coming down the road in October. I think it's October 23rd. He's gonna come. So I've been following it, and like I said, in the very beginning of the tourism divide and everything was kind of up in the air. We had a consultant who said you need two things. You need an independent DMO, which is what we have, and destination marketing organization, that's the word for it. You need one of those, which is independent of the city and has its own board, so that it's not political. And number two, you need a Main Street downtown organization to take some of these events, because the city doesn't really want to run them. They came to us as presidents and said, hey, you want the 4th of July? Do you want this? And so we have to go, well, I don't think so. We got enough going on, but they are looking for somebody to take over these events. And so that's where we're going. But anyway, thank you, Griffin. I'm gonna cut you off there because that stop sign was meant for me. Yeah, that's very enough. Totally appreciate it. And like I said, that's kind of why, as a president this year, you'll hear about those things, because I have been involved in them, and so I do know a lot about them, and they do concern, and they are affecting all of us here in the city. Because like I said, tourism is the second largest boom in our country. So, I mean, in our city. Moneymaker. Okay, and without further ado, I'm gonna hand it over to Doug, because Doug is our sergeant at arms.
Just cutting you off because I wanted to start talking.
That's how it was.
Okay. Just jealous. Sergeant Arms. Okay, so we have our weekly questionnaire. And we're gonna have a competition between 1, 2, 3 tables and 1, 2, 3 tables. Okay, we got some questions. And Patrice, pick a number 1 through 10. 4. 4, perfect. That was exactly it. Okay, so you're gonna answer questions. You got a team behind you if you need help. Carol or Pat, Pat, pick a number 1 through 10. What'd you say? No, that's wrong. Fire.
7.
Perfect, that was it. Okay, Pat, you're gonna represent that side. Okay. Question, Patrice, for you, and be sure to ask your peanut gallery behind you. Okay, so this is from the news, last week's worth of news here. So you're gonna ask one of things. So New York City, sure you all know this, New York City has banned cell phones in school. And New York State has rolled out a program to encourage students everywhere in New York to put their cell phones down, right? And to convince them to do this, Patrice, the governor this week introduced the centerpiece of that campaign to have kids put their cell phone down. Do you know what that is? What that centerpiece is? No? Okay, it's based on the success. Greg, you have to be quiet. He knows where I steal all these jokes from, so Greg knows these jokes. It's based on the success of Philadelphia convincing its fans, Philadelphia fans, to be fanatics. Any help? Okay. No, okay, anybody? Nobody? All right, God, none of you pay attention. Lisa, you got this?
Oh, I thought you did.
Oh, Lisa, okay. Fanatics, sports teams, those three.
The Eagles? Oh, like.
A what was those things? Mascots? Oh, good, you had 2 points. Mascots, have you said? Mascots, you got it, 2 points. Excellent, okay, we gotta go faster here. Okay, so, right, so who's better? So Frankie Focus is their mascot. Who better but a green guy with glasses to discourage kids from being on their cell phone? New York. Apparently, that's what it said. I don't know. Okay. Pat, you're up. You ready? Okay, question number 2. So you got 2 points, Patrice. for that one, keep score. So that's 5 points total, 3 and 2. Okay, recent study shows you can tell a lot about someone's personality by the style of their what? Any hint? Are you an A-frame kind of person or a tight squeeze kind of person? What, Lutz? Tell the person who's answering for you. Get a hint. That hugs, right? Okay, so this is true. They asked people to hug and they observed them and then they surveyed them and they found that people who were self-described as neurotic or insecure preferred to lean to hug. If you think about it, okay, that's kind of the way it works. Okay, and so people with self-confidence and empathy like those close-in hugs. Okay, so now pay attention to how you hug next time in the future.
How do you describe that?
Pat, I don't know, Pat, what are you? Oh, that Patty? Oh, Patty's into it. Patty's really into it. Right. And then the study goes on to say that romantic partners hug on average for 7 seconds, while just friends, hug for under 3 seconds. Across the board, people reported that they were really freaked out when they were being counted how long. Okay, so Pat, you had 7 to start with, and then that was 1 point. Because you gotta be more self-confident, Pat. You gotta just go with it. Don't doubt yourself, okay? All right. Okay, Patrice, back to you. Okay. Baseball season's coming to a close. And so during the baseball season, there's this new thing called the 999 challenge. Do you know what that is? Greg, no, Greg's out. 999 challenge. Okay, 9 innings. That's kind of obvious in baseball, right? So that's one of them. What else do you do at a baseball game? Okay, what else would you do at a baseball game? Oh, you're good. Okay, all right. All right, you get, how many points do they deserve for that? 9 points? That's not bad. Okay. That's pretty good. So 9 and 5. Somebody's got to do the math. All right, 9 points. Okay. Yep. So that's the new trend in baseball. You get to drink a beer an inning, eat a hot dog an inning, and sit there for 9 innings. And then the follow-up joke was it's still like 500-hour long baseball. Okay. Okay, this one. Okay. New York Times reported on the trend of couples who are giving all the single people attending their wedding a laminated fact sheet about what? Okay, fact sheets, single people, fact sheets about other single people. No pressure on all the drunk singles there at the wedding. So that's a new thing. Anybody getting married soon? That's what you gotta do. Fact sheet about from all the single people to about all the single people. Okay, how many points you got now? You got 9 points total? And they got 15 or 14. I don't do 14. Okay, I'll give you one more chance. The next question. A new study found that half the population, we gotta hurry up, never mind. They won. They won. They get the prize. Patrice, this doesn't excite you, but you can pass these out.
Like the bag.
You keep the bag. You can have the bag. Okay, happy bucks. Let me get the, where's that other microphone? Who's that microphone?
Yeah.
Brenda, you have the microphone? Who hit the microphone? Okay, happy bucks, please. Where are my glasses? Where are my glasses? Where are my glasses? Brenda, you gotta go look. Brenda had one. Go back there, Brenda. So there are bell peppers, pimentos or paprikas, same thing, and some jalapenos in the bottom.
Okay, I'm gonna give
If you want peppers, raise your
shameful
hand.
$5. I wanna help Bobby promote an event that she's going to be having on October the 10th. It's on how to talk every day, how to get your point across, how to do a lot of things, and Bobby's good at this kind of stuff, so. Yeah, let Bobby, oh, stop, okay. Here's Bobby.
You guys stop it.
Just that it's in Phoenix and it's at the Civic Center, which is right next door to the Foodery.
Okay,
I
so
learned-
this,
I learned
so this is a little bit of
two
a,
things.
so Bobby, this is a little bit sort of a self-help or somebody to help them.
It's
Engage
about
others.
confidence, it's a sharpen the saw, it's a 2-hour workshop, yeah. it's
Perfect,
really-
okay,
yeah.
Phoenix, sounds cool. Who else got a happy buck? Bev?
I'm happy we have Suzanne here and for 3 months. I'm very happy about that. And also I am happy that we went on Doug's veteran reunion buddy thing in Pennsylvania a week and a half ago. And about 8 buddies and their wives. And we all have very different political views, but it was such a great time.
And we're happy our head and our liver are back to normal.
Yes, our
right?
liver is back to normal.
So in my head, yeah. Brent, do you have happy bucks after your 52 weeks of being on a train?
My wife and I completed or maybe survived. 5-week train trip all the way across the northern US, up into Canada, and all the way back. And well, it was good, it was tiring. Wanted to do it again. It was a great trip, so I got 5 happy bucks.
So Brent, how many unscheduled stops because of one crazy thing or nothing happened on that train ride? Can you even count them?
Well, the craziest thing was a 12-hour delay going from Seattle to Chicago. We lost our connection to New York, where we were gonna see some friends. Amtrak rerouted us, we missed New York, went to Pittsburgh, anyway, but that was the only negative part. But it turned out good because the friends were gonna meet. We've never met this person just online for 24 years.
Okay.
And they were trying to accommodate us, at their house, at a small farm in upstate New York. But it turns out their dog was getting married that weekend, and so they didn't want to tell us because they were afraid we wouldn't come. But it was really awkward if we were there, we didn't know anybody, so it all worked out well.
That sounds very gracious of them. Nice. Who else? Happy bucks? I'll pick somebody. Val, okay. Val, you're it.
Well, I'm gonna put some happy bucks for Griffin coming today to give us a new idea of how the world is changing, and I do appreciate that. And then he also had an announcement that he wanted to put out there, so I'm gonna give him the number in just a minute.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, tomorrow we have a workshop we're doing with Southern Oregon University. It's gonna be at Tap Rock. It's for sustainable tourism. Pavlina, a professor from there, will be hosting it, and we're there to support. Anyone who's interested, free buffet breakfast at the Tap Rock event room. And yeah, we'll be doing a full workshop training on sustainable tourism, and if you want to learn what that is and everything. 9:30, Tap Rock.
Dawn, do you have happy bucks? Dawn,
Do I?
make something.
Donna, make something up.
Yes, I have happy bucks because we are going to Steve's 60th high school class reunion this coming Saturday, and then we come home, and then we are flying to New York City with our 3 sons, and we're gonna go see one day of the Ryder Cup, which anybody who's into golf. And then we're going to Penn State to watch the Ducks beat Penn State. Then we're coming home, and then we're gonna go to Hawaii. So there.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's $10 before all that. You're $10. Carol, what's your happy buck, Carol?
I just wanted to follow up really quick on Dawn's happy buck and say that if you want to maybe see Dawn on TV and watch that Oregon Ducks game, it's gonna be on AOB.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
Yeah, well, I'll help you. So I said, Carol, I'm gonna call on you. When she said, well, I just have the nut grass in my garden. I can't get rid of it. So
Dude.
talk about your nut grass.
Yeah, that grass, like, you believe that it's impossible to get rid of, but I keep working at it.
Okay, good. That was perfect, Carol. Nut grass it's at least a fun name, okay? I've got the winning card. Any more happy bucks? And we're done. Go. You got what?
I'm so happy to see Bobby here.
Yes, nice to see Bobby. It is nice to see Bobby, and the winning card is a 2 of spades.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
June. Yes, it was.
Jack of Hearts.
Jack and Parts, you're gonna talk to this guy, he did it. This fall. Hey, Val, come on.
Okay, and Lisa is our winner. Okay, and with that, I will give the thought for the day. I thought this was a good one under the circumstances, as we had a wonderful inspiration today. Thought for the day. It is not our differences that are dividing us. It is our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. By Audrey Lorde. And with that, I'll send you on your way. Have a great week.